Who's going to win the NFC North in 2023? Can the Detroit Lions do it? So here's what we got. We got the Minnesota Vikings, who a year ago lost most of their one-score games. This year, they're winning their one-score games. Now, those are the two extremes. In reality, you're probably going to be somewhere in the middle. So next year, expect Minnesota to just taper off a little bit. Plus, their defense isn't very good. Green Bay. It took them a long time to find their stride. Christian Watson's doing great now. Romeo Doubs is a nice receiver. Their running game's good. They have a nice O-line. Their defense finally making plays. Aaron Rodgers, who knows what's happening with him, though. That's the other thing. Is Aaron Rodgers the quarterback? Is Jordan Love the quarterback? You trading one of those guys? What's going on? So, a little uncertainty with Green Bay. Chicago, they're a mess. They are. Justin Fields, I think he can play. I do. But you trade away Khalil Mack before the season. You trade away Roquan Smith during the season. You trade for Chase Claypool, who hasn't done a damn thing for you. It's not turning out well. It's not. So, they're like a top 5 pick right now. They might have legit the second pick in the draft. Which, thanks for that second rounder. Because that Steelers won that Chase Claypool trade. They really won that trade. Because they're getting an early second, which, depending on who gets drafted in the first, you could be actually thinking, well, this is almost like having a late first. Especially, by the way, Miami had their first round pick forfeited because they tampered with Tom Brady. So there's only 31 picks in the first round. That means that the first pick of the second round is pick number 32 overall. So, if you think about it, with the Steelers having possibly the second pick of the second round, that would be pick 33, which is normally the first pick of the second round. It's essentially like having a late first round pick. The only thing you don't get is the 5th-year option. You could give up a little bit of draft capital, move from that early second actually to a late first. Just a couple spots up, and that gives you that 5th-year option on that player. So, with that said, Chicago, unless Justin Fields really carries you guys and you guys have a good draft and maybe Claypool gets more chemistry with him, it probably ain't going to be a good year for you guys. Detroit. Detroit had a nice draft. Their offense is clicking. And I mean clicking. Just on all cylinders. It is going. So you got a nice running back duo with Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. You have a couple nice receivers, Jameson Williams, who's still coming back from his injury from the national championship when he was at Alabama, but then next year he'll be healthy. And you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Really nice receiver. Yeah, you traded away TJ Hawkinson. I think, though, they got a second-round pick. I could be wrong. But even a second-round tight end in the draft, that'd be nice. Aiden Hutchinson, he's a good player. So, really, what you need is defense. Defense, maybe a couple more offensive linemen, maybe one more wide receiver, but they have, like, DJ Chark if they re-sign him, or Josh Reynolds. It's like, okay, if you could get a third very solid wide receiver, then you have a nice receiving core with Amon-Ra, Jameson, and whoever else that is. So you got the offense, which is almost set. The defense, get a couple more pieces. And freaking Dan Campbell, he has them playing hard. They play hard for him. They do. So I could easily see the Detroit Lions having a really good offseason, a good draft, and then that allows them to possibly win the NFC North in 2023. It's probably going to come down to the Packers or the Lions, I think. Between Chicago struggling, and unless they come out of nowhere, plus Minnesota is going to taper off a little bit. Those are going to be the two teams. And if Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, whether he retires or he just flat out leaves, then it's the Lions, I think. Because at that point, they aren't competing with much of anyone. Unless Jordan Love is like that dude. So, I think the Detroit Lions could win the NFC North in 2023 if their offseason is good. So if you guys did enjoy that, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and let me know if I'm crazy or not on the Detroit Lions. I mean, they picked up the pace this year and just have a good offseason, and they can compete. I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs or not. Could be them, could be the Packers, the Seahawks, I don't know. But I will see all you guys in the next video.